Welcome to part 14 of the Enlightenment. And I want to just brush up a little bit on where I was. I want to catch up just a little on where I was in 13 so you'll understand this really well. This is Revelations 20. And I want to remind you as to why we are going in to look at Revelations 18 right now. And this is Revelations 20 and verse 3. And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed for a little season. Now that's talking about the great dragon, in case you've forgotten. You can back up and read the first two verses if you need to. Well, I have you to refresh your memory. But let's go over here to 18:23. And let's look at this. Now this is Revelations 18:23. And the light of the candle. Just a moment. Sorry about that. Got a little distracted for a moment. And the light of the candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth. For by thy sorceries, which is pharmakia, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. Now give me just a moment. Okay, just to recap on that one more time. And the light of the candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth. For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. Strong's Concordance for sorceries. Strong's Concordance for sorceries. This is the Bible Hub. See what it says there. Now, I'm going to go into it. I want you to really see this. The use of medicine, drugs, or spells. Now, I'm not going to read all that. I want you to use some discernment. I want you to look this stuff up for yourself. Properly drug-related sorcery, like the practice of magical arts, etc. Now, when you're mixing all these drug concoctions, what are you doing? except for practicing sorceries. See what this one says? It's for the KJV version. The use of administering of drugs, I'll say it that way, use some discernment, poisoning, sorceries and magical arts often found in connection with idolatry and fostered by it. What do you think these things are? They're idolatry. Why? Because they're teaching us to trust these and not God. This is sorceries. Try to take my time so you'll have time to see this really well. I really want you to get this. The use of administering of or poisoning, sorceries, magical arts often found in the connection with idolatry and fostered by it. The deception and seduction of idolatry. These things can be very seductive. These types of things can be very seductive. They have you depending on them. They have you believing you got to have that in order to survive. How could a person live in today's time without those types of things? I do it every day. I do it every day in my human vitamins. I mean, I don't believe in this stuff. Why do I need that? Jesus is God. I'm going to get on back into this. Now, I'm going to get on back into this. I was trying to point out what all nations are deceived by. You see that right there, right? All nations were deceived by sorceries. Okay, this proves then what? That all nations are still being deceived because they're still doing these things. You understanding that? Still doing these things, still deceived by these things. Now I'm going to get on into this. Give me just a moment. Now, getting back on into this, Revelations 20. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and the judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus, and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image. What is the image of the beast? No, I'm not talking about just a hand. I'm talking about man. Man, he is beast. And if you've got idols like superstars or rock stars or what have you, you're worshiping a man. That's idol worship. And look what we have done. We've got all these Emmy Awards and things like that. Tell me how man is not worshiping the beast. Got Emmys, Grammys, all kinds of junk like that. I don't know. I don't follow all that. But we got that. Then we've got all these graven images of dead presidents and even former presidents and even presidents that are, and not just here in the U.S. Now, mind you, I'm not just referring to the United States. I'm talking about every country has some form of paganistic graven image that they worship in the form of some sort and similitude of some sort of either animal or fowl of the earth of some kind, or a manatee or something beneath the water, or some such like as that. But it's something. When the Bible told us in the Old Testament not to have any graven images and not to set anything like that before God, and yet here we are. And you have your graven images set before God, and now you're about to be judged. Getting on back into this. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus and for the word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. Hands. It didn't say right or left. It just said hands there. And they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. When does this occur? I saw the souls of them that were beheaded. I saw the souls of them, John said, that were beheaded. The persecution of the church is coming. We are in the time of sorrows now. So let's tie this in to those other books. So as we go into part 15 of the Enlightenment, we're going to be jumping into Matthew 24. See you in part 14.